Giannis Antetokounmpo may have a strategy to extend his prime and dominate the NBA for years to come.
I'm tapping to that next level right now. Yes. And I think there's one more level to me. I have no choice. You have to evolve. There've never been another person like me, so why would I try to change? I just gotta involve Giannis.
The two-time MVP is not only focused on the present, but also planning to maintain his elite level of play, ensuring his legacy endures beyond his peak. His blueprint for longevity could redefine the future of basketball, keeping him at the forefront of the game for much longer.
Compliment, and it's a lot of hard work that paid off, but I gotta keep, staying humble. If I stay humble, stay hungry, and keep enjoying the game, good things go happen for me and for my...
So what's this whole evolve Giannis thing all about? And more importantly, is it actually going to work? This season, Giannis is basically ditching the three-pointer and zeroing in on his mid-range game. He's all about cutting down on the threes. These games, I don't shoot any threes, 0. Like today, I shot 2. I think maybe I might go 5 games without shooting any threes. Last year, I made like 36 mid-range shots. This year, I think I'm at 55 already, and I've only played like 20-something games.
I don't shoot no threes, 0. Like today I shot 2, I think. Maybe I might go 5 games and don't shoot 0 threes. Last year, the whole year, I made like 36 mid-range shots. This year, I think I'm like at 55 already, and he's only been 20-something.
This move could really pay off in boosting his scoring potential. Tapping into the next level, Giannis believes there's one more level to reach. I have no choice. I have to evolve. There's never been another person like me, so why would I try to change? I just have to evolve. And that's been my mindset all year. Evolve every single day. Recently turning 30, Giannis is thinking more about longevity as he enters his 4th decade. This approach fits perfectly with the bigger trend in basketball, where teams are putting more focus on smart shot selection. The three-pointer is super valuable, but only if a player can knock them down consistently. Take Giannis, for example. His three-point shooting might not be the best, but he's still a force because he knows how to dominate in the areas where he shines. His ability to drive to the basket and finish strong in the paint is a game changer. By dialing back on the threes, he can save energy, avoid turnovers, and keep those offensive possessions flowing smoothly. From the 2015-16 season to last year, Giannis averaged 2.7 three-point attempts per game, but his shooting accuracy barely improved, just 0.5%, reaching 28.5%. In short, more attempts didn't lead to better shooting, so the experiment didn't work. Fast forward to this season, where his three-point attempts have dropped. Last year, Giannis took 25 threes over 73 games, hitting 27.4%. This season, he's shooting less than 1 three-pointer per game, his second lowest average ever. Giannis showed up in the Bucks' recent matchup against the Brooklyn Nets on January 2nd, 2025, racking up 27 points, grabbing 13 boards, and dishing out 7 assists. While his three-point shot wasn't on fire, hitting just 1 of 5 attempts, he still brought the heat in other areas. This game fits right in with his season stats, where he's been taking just under a three-pointer per game and making a solid 60.3% of them. But here's the exciting part. His mid-range game has exploded. Last year, he attempted 2.4 mid-range shots per game, making about 35%. This year, he's taking over 4 mid-range shots per game, and already improving his accuracy by around 10%. The improvements are clear. More attempts, better percentages, and success in an area where the three-pointer didn't deliver. Let's be real. Giannis might never become a sharpshooter, but that's totally fine. At this stage, all he really needs to focus on is maximizing his effectiveness. The goal isn't to be a sniper from deep, but just good enough to keep defenders honest. If he can consistently knock down mid-range jumpers, not only will he be scoring more, but it'll also create more space for his teammates. That's the next step for him. It's obvious Giannis spent nearly a decade trying to add the three-pointer to his game. Now he says the focus is on mastering the mid-range first and then maybe working on the three later. But let's be honest, sometimes things just aren't meant to be. Looking at his shooting form now, there's a noticeable difference from his rookie year. Back then, he had a smoother shot, quicker release, and a relaxed, fluid motion. Nowadays, the body looks stiff, almost robotic, with a slower release and more deliberate movement. It's not all that shocking, honestly. When you pack on that much muscle and size over the years like Giannis has, something's gotta give. The smooth moves of his rookie days and the raw power of the Greek freak we see now can't really exist together. Not when you're built like him. It's just basic physics. On the flip side, look at Victor Wembanyama. He's a perfect example of someone heading in the opposite direction. So, does Giannis need to work on his mechanics to become a real threat from mid-range? Absolutely. Just look at his free throw struggles as proof. We all know shooting a free throw is way easier than hitting a mid-range jumper off the dribble or catch, right? Yet Giannis's career free throw percentage hovers around 69%, and this season, it's dropped to just over 60%. That makes him way less reliable in clutch situations. Remember when fans would count out loud to mock his routine? Yeah, the coaching staff has stepped in to address that, but the bigger issue is his rigid shooting form. It all starts at the line. Improving those free throws is a must, especially with how often he's fouled. If he can dial that in, he'll take his game to the next level.
Coaching staff doing a good job alerting the officials to that mistake.
Right now, Giannis is leading the league in scoring without even relying on his jumper. He's not just cutting back on threes, he's practically eliminated them. And when you think about it, you get why. His focus has totally shifted. Giannis made the call to focus on mid-range shots, and with that, his three-point game kind of faded into the background, almost like an afterthought. What's insane about this shift isn't just how it impacts his game today, but what it says about his future. By shifting to less physically taxing parts of the game, Giannis is setting himself up for a long, sustainable career. I just love being a threat out there. It lets me rest my body, he said. You know what it means, like playing 35 minutes, carrying the team, getting to the playoffs, and still being fresh. That's not always been the case the last few years.
And I just love being a threat out there. He allows me to rest my body. And you know what I'm talking about, like when you play 35 minutes in a season, and then you gotta put so much load, carry a team one game, then get to the playoffs, and then still be fresh to, compete. Which in the last...
Think about that. This guy who thrives on athleticism is already planning ahead, making smart moves to stay ahead of age and injuries. By mastering the mid-range, he's saving his energy, avoiding unnecessary hits, and lightening the nightly grind of attacking the rim. He's absolutely on fire. Nobody can stop his insane drives to the rim or take advantage of him in the post. But when it comes to translating that energy into things like free throws or mid-range shots, that's a whole different story. Take December 5th, for example, when the Bucks took on the Pistons. Giannis was knocking down mid-range shots like it was nothing, hitting 5 out of 6. He was on a roll.
And Giannis pours it on from everywhere. The mid-range Meister.
Then, just a game later against the Hawks, he only took one mid-range shot and missed it. It shows that he's still working on being a consistent shooter from that range, but the progress is definitely there. And that's a wrap on Giannis's evolution this season. There will definitely be some bumps ahead, and things might not always go as planned. But one thing's for sure, he's not just focused on the next game or season. He's got his eyes on the next decade.
One day we will say Giannis is the best player in the league, period.
Who's the best player in the game right now?
I think I might say Giannis. How he impacts both sides. And we all have off nights, but I feel like when he has an off night, it's still 25 and 15 instead of 40 and 20.
With a sharper mid-range game and less reliance on the three-pointer, he's setting himself up for serious long-term success. This shift in his game is making him even more of a threat on the court as he keeps evolving. The journey might not always be smooth, but the progress is crystal clear. If you like this breakdown, hit that subscribe button for more hoops insights. Do you think Giannis's mid-range game will push him to the next level? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below.